Hey folks, Mark and Bob from Fire Mountain Outdoors, and today in this box we got a cool optics package from Primary Arms. Stay tuned and we're going to put it on. I'm not really that surprised, but it's like Christmas, Bob.
It kind of is.
This is one of my favorite optics, one of the best bangs for the buck ever.
You know, the Vortex StrikeFire, we do have a review on our page on YouTube there. If you want to click, you'll see a box. click on it.
Click on
check
the
out
box.
the review. Great optic.
Let's see, what do we have here? The next is the Primary Arms 3x red dot magnifier. And to go with that, we have the flip to side magnifier mount, and then we have the high cantilever 30mm mount for the StrikeFire itself.
Nice.
So let's open all these up, Bob. And we're going to mount that on this AR-15 pistol. Bob's got that.
And this wasn't something that we intended on purchasing this week, but Primary Arms were on their mailing list, and they sent out a heck of a deal. It just was a little bit too good to resist.
Exactly. You know, I had an optic that we're sending back for a review, from a review that was on this weapon, and now I needed something to replace it. And God, you can't go wrong with a StrikeFire, folks. Our experience has been really positive with them.
But the Cantilever Mount, that was included with the StrikeFire on this.
So the package that we'd got was a package deal. And so we have the StrikeFire, and it's just by itself. And it did come with the low mount. I can see that it came with the low mount that you would install like on a hunting rifle or something, not the high mount that you could mount it straight up on an AR. And the purpose of the cantilever, folks, is so we can mount it forward and then mount the magnifier back behind it.
The cantilever did come with the proper wrench for this, so this is didn't need to bring any extra tools with this, which is nice.
The StrikeFire did come with a battery.
You know, which is real nice. You know, when I ordered a Lucid HD7 recently, it did not come with a battery, which I thought was kind of chintzy, but it's nice to know that Vortex is including the CR, I believe it's a 123 battery with it.
So in the magnifier, it came with a lens cloth. You order your particular mount separately. So here is the 3-power magnifier. You know, initial impressions just looking through, Bob, it looks really clear.
I'm looking forward to it and seeing if it looks like what appears to be a windage and elevation on that. I'm hoping it's going to be like an adjustable azimuth on that, so we can, you know, use it on different optics.
Right, I do believe that's for centering your dot from your optic there. Oh, let's point this out. So the StrikeFire does come with a screw-in magnifier that you can see if you look at our StrikeFire review that I pretty much dismiss as worthless. So this you can give to your kid for burning ants or something. Okay. So then that. The StrikeFire comes with lens covers. We're going to mount this up after we get it all set up. We're going to mount it up on the OptiView Gubatron. And the primary reason why we're doing this review is we want to take a look at that tripler, and we're going to compare it to the
EOTech G33,
which is much more expensive. Alright, so I'm going to have to move this back a little bit, Bob. I can see a problem, Bob.
The lens cap is going to be a little bit intrusive.
Think.
All right.
Oh, wait, Bob. Look at, so since I sprung for this flip to the side.
Oh, Mark, you are a genius.
Okay,
all right, problem averted.
Right. In case you're wondering, we belong to Optics Installers Local number 732, and
actually 762.
762. Bob, It's in his contract. He has to stay on his side. That's his job, and this is my side. So, all right. Now, what do you think if you were doing the pier down the side? Let's see.
All right. I think your Titan right there will be money.
Perfect. All right, folks. Well, we got this mounted up, and a little bit of fine tuning and tweaking to where we liked it. We moved the magnifier to the rear, to the most rear available slot, and that is because the eye relief on this is pretty shallow. So that was the spot that we felt was the best. And I'd also like to note, we did notice that the scope covers in that position are able to be flipped up without doing without running into this. So that's an added bonus of that particular position.
That's one of the nice things about having these magnifiers, is that they do not have to be butted up right to the objective of the primary optic that we're mating it with.
That's right. And we did make this so that both of the mounting nuts are on the same side and the optic tips over to the right. We're not sure if we're going to have an issue with brass deflection coming up and hitting. I think we're going to be fine, and it's going to be clear. One thing, we tried it with the other position to try and minimize any issues with brass, but we noticed that when this would tip out over to this side, if you keep both eyes open like most people do with a red dot, that this was right in your field of view and obstructed it. But when it tips over to the right, of course it's out of your field of view, and the sight picture is a lot better.
Both you and I are right eye dominant, so if somebody's left eye dominant, it may work better on the other side for them.
Exactly, and it's a reversible mount, so you could do it either way. So we've mounted the StrikeFire up on the OptiView Agubitron 2000. So we are looking at the 100-yard range. There's Bob up there, and he is standing next to an 8-inch gong. So you can see that would be a headshot at that range. You can kind of see the clarity of the Vortex. I really like the Vortex optic. I think it's the best value out there for a red dot. That's why I bought it. This is bought with my own money. This isn't a paid review. This is bought. And now we're going to flip over the primary arms G3. Now, because it's much closer, I'm going to have to refocus the camera. Your eye would do this automatically, but you can see the difference. So there's Bob, and that is the effect that you get from a 3-power magnifier. So there's a little bit of distortion on the red dot. We're going through a lot of different lenses right here. That green dot looks pretty round and crisp through the eye, and maybe it's just a mental calculation. Once again, I'm not firing or pointing a weapon at Bob. This is just mounted up on the OptiView Agubitron. So if we were going to try and take a shot at that gong right there, you can see what your sight picture would be at 100 yards versus we're going to take the tripler out, and now we're just looking through the StrikeFire. I'm going to refocus, and this is what your sight picture would be. Next, we're going to compare this to the rather more expensive EOTech model, the G33. This particular red dot is from Primary Arms. It is the PA3 G3, and you can go to Primary Arms and see what the current MSRP is, but it is much less expensive than the EOTech version. Alright folks, here we are. Now we're just looking through the StrikeFire with the green dot. I'm going to turn up the illumination on the green dot a little bit. And we're looking at Bob. This is in the OptiView Agubitron. This isn't a firearm. I don't have anything pointed at Bob. He's perfectly safe. And this is what we're looking at there. If we were shooting at the 100-yard gong, that's what the dot would look like through the StrikeFire. We can change colors to red if you want. That's what a red dot looks like. And Should be back to green. Now we're gonna bring in the EOTech G33 tripler. Now this is an expensive piece of glass, folks. This is about $500 just for the tripler. And the reason we're doing this is we're comparing it to the primary arms G3. And you can make your own judgments on whether it's clear or not. But I think that the $100 range G3 red dot magnifier is definitely more attractive to my wallet. So once again, currently we're looking through the EOTech, and this is through the Vortex StrikeFire. And we flip that back in, and we focus the camera, and there you go. Well, this is somewhat complicated, Bob, in the fact that I've got a 4 MOA dot, which is twice the size of the dot that I'm shooting at down there. So I'm going to make a group and see if it centers around it. So the circle, Bob, the dot when you're looking at it was about that big. So
right.
We've got that 8-inch gong out there at 100 yards. If I can hit that 8-inch gong, which would be the kill zone on an animal, or a headshot 5 or 6 or 7 times out of 10, I'm happy. Let's try that magnifier at 100 yards.
Sounds good.
Success. You know, Bob, we just made this AR pistol into a very effective 100-yard weapon with the addition of the Vortex StrikeFire and the 3-power magnifier from Primary Arms.
All for under $200.
Exactly. You know, the whole thing with the tip-away mount, to me, shipped, everything was $175. That was a great sale that we caught from Primary Arms. Yeah, this is my, follow the bouncing dot. This is, we're looking at this now. Great optic. It's dry, it's clear. We took it to the creek and it is clear. There's no fog. I did all of that shooting right there through the Vortex that passed the dunk test. So thumbs up on the Primary Arms 3-power magnifier for function and value. And you can't beat the price point. It'll be your choice if you want to spend the extra money to go to the EOTech. The EOTech's a little bit more compact, a little bit more precise in the mounting, but it's a heck of a lot more money. You know, since we were bold enough to compare the $500 EOTech to the Primary Arms, it's only fair that we have a closer comparison of the two. The EOTech is slightly lighter and it has a rubber armor around it. Its adjustments are accessible without removing turret covers. It's definitely more compact, and the side-to-side flip lever on the EOTech definitely, it feels more solid and robust. So that's all worth noting, and you know, all of that costs money. So this is a little bit more primitive, a little bit more crude, and this doesn't have the armor. It's obviously much larger and bulkier. So We're not necessarily comparing apples and apples. It all depends on whether you want the best of the best, or if you want a great piece at a bargain price. Optic, you can't go wrong, folks. Survived the dunk test. Thumbs up to Vortex, thumbs up to Primary Arms for their magnifiers.
Alright, we're taking a look at the gong after we've been shooting it at 100 yards with that AR-15 pistol. And it looks like we were shooting just a little bit to the right, but dang, we were tagging that thing almost every single time. Pretty impressive. You know, if we're going to pan back here, there's the shooting shack in the distance. That's where we were firing from. So with that Primary Arms attached to that Vortex, the proof is in the pudding. Anyway, thanks for watching.